Jared, thank you so much for including your work. I was just going through your writing. Yeah, a lot of this makes sense, but I want to address a lot of this. I really do. I think there's some things that we can really make some improvements, not only to this ad, but in your general approach to design itself. So give me a couple minutes here. Let me present my case, and let's see how you feel about it. I'll go to your ad right now, which is right here. I want to reduce the size. Actually, it fits perfectly in the window. I just want to make sure it fits in the window. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So for presentation sakes, you don't want to include stuff like this in your artboard because it's going to show in the presentation. We just want to see your ad. Okay, so whenever you're ready for production, it's okay to keep things like this in your artboard, but you gotta make sure you delete everything from that artboard before you save out to PDF or JPEG or PNG or anything like that, and especially before you submit for production, because that's going to be all sorts of problems. You will get a phone call from the printer on this. I'm asking them what you want to do with that. So make things as easy as possible for your printer. Okay. As far as the configuration of the ad goes, I mean, everything is here that we need here. Okay. And you're showing excellent proficiency in assembling the ad. We've got your typography is set up nicely. The image, that background image is a little bit dark, but I think it's handled well. Your mask is beautiful. Good placement of the logo. Everything's looking great. Now, as far as composition goes, one of the problems I'm having is that this page, there's just so much going on. And I'm just giving you, from a professional graphic designer standpoint, there's too much going on this page. The reason I say that is this. Imagine leafing through a magazine. As you're looking through a magazine, you got about a second and a half tops before the viewer decides if they're going to stay in the page. So the viewer has to make a lot of decisions immediately. A lot of those decisions are based on the way they feel when they look at the ad. Right now, the problem I'm having is that it's very confusing because it almost looks like it's three different ads on the page. Okay, this is totally visually different than this, which is completely visually different than this. So there's not a whole lot of consistency in between the three sections of the page. And I'm afraid that the viewer is going to get confused, think this is more than one ad, and move on. One of the really great ways to prevent that from happening is to marry or synthesize our imagery with our type, with our message, instead of, okay, here's your image in the background, then we have separate type, and then we have separate message, and everything is separated in little compartments, not allowing the composition to breathe with itself. Okay, that's why these examples are so effective. And that's why I chose these to add, because all of these integrates type with image in a very effective way. Okay, background image, headline, subhead, body copy, masked image, contact information. That formula works over and over and over. And that's why I'm kind of pointing you in that direction. So as we can clearly see, is in terms of visual harmony, you can pick any one of these and then take a look at this, and we can see that these are just much more clear, much more harmonious. And a lot of it has to do with, if you're thinking of the word simplicity, you're exactly right, because I think that this could be simplified tremendously. Okay, so a couple of comments off the top of my head is what I would recommend doing is using an image. This is such a great masked image. I could see this on a beach with her looking out into the beach. So instead of all of these separations here, what I would recommend is just to get one main background image with a beach and then place her on the beach, and then headline, subhead, paragraph or body copy. And I would not recommend all of these, like this different color background for the bottom, this different color with the wavy shape. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, feel free to hang on to it if you want. If you're really passionate about it, keep it. But I think in terms of student portfolio, I think that this configuration will go much further in terms of representing your understanding of harmony in magazine design. So my recommendation is to recompose the whole ad. All right, now as far as one thing that isn't working. So you've got this offset type on your subhead. But that's pretty good. I don't think you need it here. I think it's offset a little bit too much. But it looks like you've also offset your body copy. You don't want to do that. You can see that little ghosted gray You don't want to do that with body copy ever, ever. It's just going to be too difficult to read. Okay, so those are my recommendations. Now, this, as far as the correlation between your grade and the effectiveness of the ad, I think there's something we need to look at too. This ad could, depending on how it's constructed, and if all the typefaces are correct and everything is correct, this ad would receive a great grade. However, that does not to say that this would be the best piece for your portfolio, because I definitely think that this configuration will go much farther in your portfolio. So think about it. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to recompose, please go right ahead. And what I'd like to see is the recomposition occur by the week after next, which is when this is due. In between the time between now and then, if you want to run something by me, I'll be glad to give you a full critique. Just let me know. Okay. I don't mean to sound confusing. I think the great thing here is you're showing outstanding proficiency in everything you need to assemble the ad. I just think a recomposition might be in order. All right, if you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you very much.